my comment is more on young professions. You mentioned that Europe want okay, want migrants from Africa, but we also have programs where, for instance, myself and Sylvie, we went to study in Spain. We did programs like did economics, finance, and computation and whatnot. There are more students. So I think as African youth, what we want to see is that progressing engagement, not just for us to go study in Spain or in Europe, but also to become young professionals that can work not only in Africa but also in maybe in cooperation with Europe. Instead of just going as immigrants, we can have that gap covered by the young professions. So when we are taking students or when we are training students from Africa, not just to leave them after the graduation level, but rather, mold them or train them and in that profession and make sure, or not make sure, but like also to, give them opportunities in that areas. I think one more thing that I wanted to comment is something that Medeshi mentioned about the mid-income. Yes, mid-income. Yes, because Africa is not in Africa. Namibia is regarded as a mid-income country. But one point that Medeshi is mentioning is about the gap between. I'm not sure if it's called the Gini coefficient. My economics is also going, but yes. So it's part of that. So I think the cooperation that we want engagement on that. International cooperation to engage on that to guide us, not is to guide us on how to close that gap or how to go about it, because it's a pressing matter that has been, on the mouth of the households of all Namibians. Maybe not at international level, but in Namibia, it's really something that everybody talk about, the gap between the rich and the poor. So these are the things that we need to talk about when we are doing that. We are talking about this cooperation, like how to engage for instance, things like ESG of sustainability, and how to go about crossing this gap. One more thing, I think on that, we want to engage the international cooperation on how are they how are they working towards that, because and this is now where Rico come in. We have, for instance, international organizations, and when you work in an international organization as a national personnel and as an expert, let's say I'm working for an international company that is from Spain. Let's say the national personnel, their packages, let's say, is determined by the labor act of the country, but the one of the experts is determined from the country where the international company is coming from. So is the international cooperation contributing to that inequality also? So we want this kind of gaps to, be engaged, try to close them and whatnot. I think, those are my points.